Loneliness is a challenge we all face at some point, even the legendary samurai Miyamoto Musashi. Contrary to popular belief, Musashi was more than just a warrior. He spent much of his life in solitude, using this time to develop deep insights into isolation and its impact on personal growth. Just a week before he passed away in 1645, Musashi authored Dokkodo, known as The Path of Walking Alone, a guide with 21 principles on living fully and facing loneliness. This discussion explores Musashi's philosophy, how it helps us confront loneliness, and ways to harness this state to become stronger. Musashi's words in Dokkodo offer us a fresh perspective on solitude. He advised, "In all things, do not depend on a partial feeling." Through this, he implied that we shouldn't rely solely on the comfort of connection with others to feel complete. Instead, he emphasized the importance of self-sufficiency and learning to complete ourselves from within. Loneliness often emerges in moments of transition, like moving to a new city, starting a new job, or when relationships evolve, leaving us feeling left behind. But this doesn't mean loneliness is inherently negative. In fact, we can turn it into a powerful tool for productivity. When we're not distracted by external influences, we can fully immerse ourselves in personal projects, learn new skills, or simply take the time to understand ourselves better. Transforming loneliness into an opportunity for growth can turn a low point into a significant turning point in life. Another principle Musashi outlined in Dokkodo is abandon any lifelong attachment. Although challenging, this idea is practical when it comes to solitude. Loneliness often stems from an unfulfilled desire to have someone by our side. As social beings, we naturally seek connection, but an insatiable craving for companionship can create problems. Becoming overly dependent on others leads us to lose the ability to be content on our own. Learning to value solitary moments helps us balance our need for connection with the benefits of solitude. Finding joy in a quiet evening, a solo walk, or a reflective moment offers a chance to recharge, self-assess, and reconnect with our true desires. Musashi's wisdom teaches us to appreciate these times as a way to achieve equilibrium, drawing energy from moments of peace without constantly seeking validation from others. Musashi's advice to accept everything just the way it is stands out as one of his most profound lessons. This principle encourages letting go and trusting that everything happens for a reason. In my own experience, looking back, I've noticed how seemingly negative events connect and lead to unexpected growth. For example, losing a client a few years ago left me feeling defeated and questioning my abilities, but that experience ultimately redirected my focus to content creation, which brought me to where I am today. Loneliness is no exception. While it can make us feel isolated, it's essential not to let despair take over. Instead, treat it as an integral part of life's journey. This perspective allows us to ask what we can learn from these solitary experiences. Perhaps it's an opportunity to explore self-reliance or clarify what truly matters without the noise of social connections. By accepting loneliness without resistance, we open ourselves to greater insights and move forward with renewed strength. Finally, Musashi's advice to think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world is especially relevant when dealing with loneliness. It's easy to fall into negative self-reflection, but Musashi's words remind us to look outward, adopting a broader perspective. When we become absorbed in loneliness, we risk overlooking the complex and fascinating beauty of the world around us. Shifting focus from personal sorrow to the wider world reduces feelings of isolation and helps us rediscover connection, seeing the beauty in life's small details. Loneliness is only a small part of a vast and intricate world. What does this mean for our individual experiences of loneliness? It suggests that while loneliness feels deeply personal, it's also a universal human experience. Recognizing this commonality can deepen our understanding of ourselves and our connection to others. By adjusting our perspective and shifting attention outward, we may find comfort in knowing that others too have faced this feeling and discovered meaningful ways to handle it. This realization can be liberating, allowing us to let go of self-imposed pressures and open ourselves to new experiences and lessons that enrich our lives. How can we apply this perspective on solitude in real life? Start by engaging with your community or simply spending more time in nature. These actions help you feel a part of something larger than yourself, shifting focus from the isolation you might feel. Musashi once advised, "Do not distress yourself over separation." This reality is one we all face, the pain of losing someone or feeling distanced from loved ones. It's an experience that can drive us into solitude, but Musashi encourages us to see separation differently. Understanding that it is a natural part of life allows us to manage the loneliness that often accompanies it. Instead of treating it as an end, we can view it as a transition, a phase that challenges us to grow and become more resilient. This change in mindset can transform how we experience and overcome loneliness. By accepting separation as part of life and relationships, we release ourselves from the heavy sadness that can weigh us down. This doesn't mean we stop caring or feeling. It means we accept the parting and move forward, carrying with us the memories and lessons we've gained. How does this relate to Musashi's principle? Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. By accepting separation, we cultivate a deeper connection to the world around us, realizing that our personal experiences of loss and loneliness are shared by many. This awareness fosters a sense of connection to the human experience and helps us approach separations with an open heart, ready to embrace new relationships and experiences. It reminds us to appreciate the moments we share with others and strengthens our ability to stand firm when needed. Another principle in Dokkodo is, do not act following customary beliefs. This resonated with me, especially as I reflect on my struggles with loneliness as a young adult. Like many, I followed a traditional path that society expects of us, excelling academically, getting into a prestigious college, and choosing a career like law or medicine. I went to law school and spent 4 years there, only to realize it was all just a facade. It wasn't who I truly was. This realization gradually led me away from the crowd, partly because I feared society would reject me for choosing a different path. I didn't want what everyone else wanted. I wanted to forge my own way, focusing on things I genuinely enjoyed and excelled at, like video editing, marketing, and advertising, fields that might seem strange or risky to some, but felt exactly right for me. In those lonely months of working alone, self-studying, and editing videos, I felt like Sisyphus, endlessly pushing a boulder uphill. But unlike Sisyphus, I hadn't yet found joy in the struggle. Not at that time, at least. During that period, I immersed myself in the philosophy of Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Musashi's Dokkodo. Musashi's words didn't immediately resonate, but over time, ideas like do not act following customary beliefs started to sink in. When I truly connected with this thought for the first time, I remember thinking, this is exactly where I am. It felt like a sign that I was on the right path, even if it was a lonely one. 6 years later, I find myself in a much better place. Had I continued on the set path, following the crowd instead of embracing solitude and the lessons it brought, I likely would have been miserable. Instead, by daring to be different, by embracing a bit of solitude, I met incredible people and discovered my own meaningful path. Is loneliness always a negative experience? Certainly not. Embracing moments of solitude can lead to profound growth and deeper self-understanding. This is a process that transforms what might initially feel frightening into an opportunity for self-reflection and development. Before we conclude, there's one more piece of Musashi's wisdom you might carry with you. Perceive that which cannot be seen with the eye. This phrase encourages us to look within and uncover the deeper meaning in our experiences, including those times when we struggle with loneliness. Thank you for watching. If you found this content valuable, please like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. See you in the next video.